way. So if we do want to start with frontage roads, then we'll leave the T's for after.
I'm thinking,
Do you want to show her the map? There's
Yeah.
a conceptual one, and like I said, this isn't set in stone, but there was a conceptual one sent.
I'm trying to think this one might actually be better to see. This one's brighter. So,
So we're looking at the potential road network option 2.
so should we flip it around so it's going the same way?
Yeah.
You're looking at everything upside down. We should have rolled the map up the other way. So this is looking at the same way as this map.
This is the main. They're proposing a one in there and right along the highway, a frontage road. But the problem is that because it's hypothetical, they weren't taking into account the CP holders, right? Yeah. Like if you look at it, this might hypothetically go right through your property.
So it should be probably, but, so the gas station's there.
Yeah.
So they're on the frontage.
Yeah,
So-
and your houses are right there, I think.
So in theory, like if there was a main exit,
Just hold on a second.
like if there's a main exit not near your place, you could still have really good access, especially if you have a handicapped daughter. Like there could be a road that's where, and then that way you'd get in and out of your property. Instead of trying to get on and off the highway, you get like a calmer, safer frontage road to get onto.
Yep.
And then you just take the frontage road to the exit.
Okay, and these green lines are
So yeah, so they're,
future development.
future development road, yeah. So this is a future, they call this one a future collector, so it's kind of like a main frontage road. And then for them, this is just another possible road in the future. This is the old highway.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which
I
I
mean,
was, oh sorry, I was gonna ask you, did you guys check into whether or not Highways has paid Nisquamish for their old road?
no, it looks like highway still owns it because there's an easement around it, you can see. So it's not, but I don't know if they paid for
We
it.
did
no.
get an official request for us to give a formal response to that.
Yep.
So we got that formal request after the last modding meeting we have. We have another one with them in a couple of weeks,
Sure.
and we'll bring that forth.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
there's another CP holder who asked us the same thing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to know.
So we're gonna
because
get
that
clarity.
would have been Joey because he was talking about it at go out.
So, so if you take this, if we take a look back at this for a second, it would kind of, that frontage road basically follows this one, and then would go somewhere, who knows where. But what we can do is we have markers. You could mark if that is something that interests you. You can mark where you would like to see a frontage road. So in theory, like Clarissa said, this is just like a high level concept. That's all this is. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't have to be exactly where that is, but in theory it would be kind of like somewhere around here. And then if you had lost your access to the highway there with the highway moving, then you could access this frontage road on this backside of the property.
So that gives us 3 accesses.
It's actually only 2. I was looking at that. It looks like 3 courses. This one actually doesn't go all the way through, I don't think. It looks like it just stops to the frontage road.
Well, that's what I meant. We
Yeah.
have 3 ways to get on the frontage road, and then over here to get on the main road,
The highway itself, yeah.
and down here.
And down there, yeah.
So this is another version of that map. But what it does, it shows just shows them as roads, doesn't have to be color coded. You can see them as like drawn on roads.
So option 2, protected T at Nisquamish and at West End.
Yeah, and so it's got a protected T here and a protected T here.
I suppose if my daughter needed the ambulance, it doesn't. That one's closer. That frontage entrance is closer.
It has to be safer. like accessing the property. Instead of accessing off of a 4-lane highway, it would be off of a frontage road to get actually into the property.
Yeah, because they'd have to turn off at Nisconnet Road or whatever road that is, and then come all the way down to where?
It'd be like somewhere down there would be one of them, and then the other one would be somewhere like up. I can just
Okay, because we're right here.
I think it'd be like, this is what is in that proposal. It's basically protected T here and a protected T somewhere down there. So it would be, yeah. And do we know the distances? There's scale on this map?
No.
Of course not. Sean, come on.
Well, Sean didn't do this one. This is urban.
Urban cowboy.
This is 400 meters. This one's zoomed out though.
Yeah.
But these protected Ts have it tells us the distance on them.
Yeah.
So what is this one? This is 15 line.
Can we kind of see from that map where the line this way is for the middle one? Can we try to match it up? See if you
Sure.
can see this?
The T?
Yeah, like, no, not the T, this. Is that what you're asking about?
No, I think we're trying to figure out right now, like how far of a
This is
distance
her
is
property.
this?
Okay, where's the gas
Oh, this
station?
would probably be the closest it can get. I don't know what the distance is.
So I think you're thinking for an ambulance, like they'd have
Yeah.
to drive by.
Oh, I
Our
see what
place
you
is right here. Right?
Yeah. So you're
think
thinking the distance from here to here.
Is
How long is
closer-
it going to
yeah,
take?
Closer
Then
than
closer
that.
this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
This one has I think, minimum interchange spacing is 1.6 kilometers. So like in theory, this should be 800 meters.
Yeah.
So it's basically it'd be like a kilometer probably to your house on that frontage road off the highway.
Yeah. I would say the same or a bit more.
Yeah.
And then the distance between that frontage road to this is farther. You're right. It would
that's
be
a
closer to get
pretty-
for them to get to this
Yep.
one. Yeah.
That's not too far to drive though on the frontage road. A kilometer's pretty. It's
Yeah,
not-
well, especially if the frontage road is kept up.
Yes.
And that's the question, I don't know if anyone else has asked, who pays for the frontage road?
So
So what we were discussing with Maudie as part of the negotiations, whatever the map is that the CP holders and the band decides that are frontage roads, they will construct it to whatever the end design is, and then it will be transferred back to band land. So the ministry will not own it, the band will. And it
Monty,
would- go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say, so Monty pays for it to build it,
Yeah.
but then they don't maintain it.
It would go back to band.
Oh, it's a job for somebody.
We-
Jobs.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was because we're going from meeting to meeting, but somebody did suggest that as part of the negotiation to offer training to maintain it internally.
Yeah. So it's a contract. For this
I
house.
believe it was another CP holder, I just cannot remember who it was.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, you're not supposed to tell me.
No. It was just one of the side conversations we were having, and that's the point of this, is to get all of that down, right?
Yep.
But if there was a frontage road so that you could have access and stuff, I think it doesn't necessarily, then you don't need to have a protected T like right in the middle of your property, because that actually take up a big chunk of the property. And
Yeah, well, I'm worried about getting onto the main highway access, and the only thing that makes sense to me is to have a frontage road, because I got that map at home, I think.
okay, yeah.
And,
Yeah, because that's in that land use. Remember that book that we
Yep.
gave you? Yeah, it's that's where those
you
are from.
gave it to me, thank you.
Yeah, or
Yeah, you can have it.
yeah,
I have it digitally, so don't worry about
Oh,
it.
because I was going, what do I say if you ask about that?
We can I can also, we're working on getting a whole bunch of USB sticks, and I can actually give
Yes.
it to you as a digital file
Right.
instead. So
Yeah.
it's up to you.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I definitely agree with the frontage road.
Okay.
Would you
Most
prefer, do you like the one that's near the highway, or do you think this should be, or both, or like where do you think we should put the frontage road?
Along the main highway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Do you want to, so one of the extra